In today's lab, what we're going to do is we're going to shoot an underground ramp shot. But this morning we need to drill it out first before lab gets here this afternoon. Going underground, we're going to do another ramp shot. I've already got it here on the board. 10, 11, 12. And what we're going to use is 11 milliseconds between holes. So I tell you what, let's go to the magazines now.
Alright, so we need to grab 2 whole cases and a partial case of 2" by 16" dynamite. 12 of the Unitronics 600 series.
We've got the explosives, we've got loading poles, and we've got a whole bunch of other equipment, including the Unitronics scanner. So let's get underground. Before we start loading these holes, we've got a fair amount of prep work here to do at the face. We're now blowing the holes, and what we're also doing is measuring them with a loading pole. What's that, 8.5?
It's about 8. Want you to take your badger here and put it in to the bulleted end here, because that's the side we'll want to go in first. You'll need to push it into the stick as long as the length of the cap, because if you don't, you'll have the end sticking out. And when you put it into the hole and you hit the back, you could possibly damage the cap.
To make sure the chubs actually fill the hole and stick in there well, what we're going to do is split them before we put them in the hole. So go ahead and just slice it down the middle there. We've got all the holes loaded now. We're using electronic detonators. They're Unitronics 600 series.
11 milliseconds for our first hole, which is hole 1, and then it will be scanning forward 11 milliseconds each time we scan in a new detonator. Alright, so now you hit the scan button and a red laser will show up, and now it has found the detonator after we scanned it, and then we confirm that we want that to be the detonator in hole 1, hit enter, and now it has moved on to the next delay, 22 milliseconds for hole 2.
Okay, so now we're scanning hole number 2. You know, everybody can see that everybody's getting a good crack at the whip, right? These clips, okay, can be put on in any order because they're electronic detonators. It'll take a while to do that. Once it's got that, it's going to start going through. Okay, you can see here it's cycling through them and telling which ones are good and which ones are bad. There's one last thing we've got to do, and I almost forgot, and that's stem the holes.
Great, Steve, now we have to do it again.
In order for this system to operate, you have to have the dongle in the blast box to even turn it on. And it's going to run a series of tests, and so it says its self-test has passed, and then we're ready to hit the continue button. Now we're ready to load the detonators onto the machine. Download succeeded. So now all of our data for our shot is in the blasting machine.
Fire the hole! Fire the hole! 3, 2, 1, fire.
And all we have to do now is get it ventilated out, and while it does that, we're going to go in and do the blast records, and then we'll check out, see how it's gone. And this looks like a really good job, and it's ready to be mucked out.